All right, let's turn on the music. Let's start with a march. And the shoulder roll. Up, back, down. Right now, circles, small one. Bigger one with a deep breath. Very good. Try it tap. Reach across, right hand to the left, left hand to the right. Moving shoulders. One shoulder forward, one shoulder back. Keep a little bit across. Let's lose it up. Good. March. Now let's pretend you're spinning. Shoulders moving forward to back. That's good. Let's try side back. The arms. You can make the motion bigger. Keep moving, and elbows, and a little bit of a turn. Good, nice march. Circle, keep going. The shear is pretty good. Very good. Lift the heel and the arms. Do a bit of stretching your calves. Stretch the shoulders. Watch what I'm doing. Reach into the spot with my shoulder. That's enough. Let's take the arms. Rotations on the shoulders. Try not to move the shoulders this much. Let's keep the back down. And that's good. Let's drop the arms. Another step to the left. And form up. Take the fists and open them up. Now let's keep the elbows straight. Circles. Engage. That's good. We're almost done with the warm-up. Shake it go down. Throw a couple of feet. And march for the fifth circle. One more. Very good. And then goes the warm-up. I go to the music. We will bring it back for our cardio part. Right now, I'd rather have everybody work, not paying attention to the rhythm or tempo, just making sure you're comfortable with the movement. We will need our chairs, we will need our bands. And first exercise is a squat. We will be standing behind our chairs with feet about shoulder width apart, and you can have your toes pointed forward for now. Chest is up. Let's roll the shoulders back and keep them back and down. And first thing to move should be the hips. They go back and we tilt them a little bit forward and bend the knees. That is a squat, a small one. It's just a warm-up. So hips first need to go back. There is a hip hinge. If you look from the side, I'm angling my pelvis forward, taking the upper body with it. So back stays stiff during the whole thing. There is no movement in the spine. Movement happens in your hips, knees, and ankles. And let's also add this, pulling the elbows back, which adds stiffness to the back, opens the shoulders, and gives muscles that move your shoulder blades something to do. We want to pull the shoulder blades down, away from the ears, and toward each other. Keep going. Inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. Take it to full extension, to standing tall. And let's take a look at the knees. If your toes are forward, your knees should be forward. If you're more comfortable with the toes out, then your knees should be out. We just need to make sure knees never do something like this. And they will be moving forward a bit, which is fine. Keep them behind your toes. And the depth of the squat is just whatever your joints are comfortable with. It could be a really small one. It could be bigger. Just make sure there's no joint discomfort. We will do another set. That was just the first set, like a warm-up. Shake it. Let's take it to a stretch. It starts like a squat with a straight back. Then we lean on the knees, scoop the tailbone under and allow your back to round and then roll it up. We don't squat like this, but for the stretch, it's like cat and cow exercise that is down on the mat. Next exercise is a heel raise. We will be waking up the calves. Feet go a little bit closer, something like hip width apart. Heels go up, heels go down. Knees are staying straight here. And as you see, the whole body has to shift a few inches forward so that shoulders and hips end up over balls of the feet as the heels come up so we can balance. Feel free to touch the chair for this one or not. If you don't need it, we can open up the arms like this and inhale on the way up when the chest opens up. And if your ankles move around a little too much, there's a trick to this. Push your toes, especially your big toes, into the floor, not necessarily curling them too much. We don't want them to crack, but applying the pressure through the big toe will prevent your ankles from doing something like this. So make sure your toes are working. This will add stiffness to your ankles and therefore balancing will be easier. Let's do one more time, staying vertical, balancing. Very good, and that is our next exercise. Rotate a couple of times. Let's do a quick stretch for the calves. We will step back, push the heel back, lean forward, bending the knee. And you see your upper body is about on the same line with your leg, and that's a calf stretch. Our next exercise, I was going to say, will be the opposite of what we just did. And I want you to stretch the calves a little extra for that one. Here we go. And here it is. Now for this exercise, I do want you to hold the chair because it's going to be this. We will be shifting the weight toward the heels and lifting the toes up. Not just the toes, but the rest of the foot too. So just for everyone to be safe, let's hold the chair. And we're leaning back, not really much, just enough to put the weight on the heels and lift the toes up. This movement is really important for walking. When your heel hits the ground, your toes should be up. Very good. We will get back to this. We'll do one more time. Shake the legs out. And let's give our legs a little break. We will combine all three exercises when we get back to leg work. Let's do something with our hands. Grab yours. First exercise is a floor part. Chest open. And we'll be standing upright. Arms forward, elbows almost straight. You can give them a little bit of an angle. Roll the shoulders back and down. And open the arms. First thing to move should be your shoulders. Number one, they're going down. Number two, they're moving toward each other. So this movement starts with your shoulder blades. And then you can worry about the arms. And how wide are you going to open? Make sure your shoulders feel good with this. They're not over stretching. We're standing upright, which means ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle are on the same line. And this line is vertical. Let's do 2 more times. Let's do 1 more time. Open up and hold it. Good. Let's put the band down, shake the hands, shake the arms, roll the shoulders. Let's do this movement again, which we did earlier. Scoop the tailbone under, which flattens the back, and then round the rest of it. Look down and take the arms forward. This is a back stretch. And then we'll straighten up. Take the wrist, pull it up to the side and a little bit back, and you can bend to the side, and that's a very nice stretch. Should be nice. Don't do too much side bending, however. Other side. Pulling your wrist up, back, into the side. And this is our next move, actually. Side bending with the band. So the band goes behind your back this time. And it means it will be pulling your arms a little bit back as we move side to side. So we can start with feet about under the shoulders and then see. Side bend from the waist. One arm goes up, the other arm goes down, so your band stays tight. And you can tip your head a little bit to the same side, so your neck stays long on this side. And just see how much side bending you want to do. Again, there is a limit of how much side bending is available in the spine. We don't want to get too close to that limit. But if you feel like you could use some more, instead of bending even more, have your feet a little bit closer. And then the stretch will be more intense. The other thing you can do, instead of keeping the arm in front of the face, you can keep it more vertical where it goes toward the ear, and you can't see your arms anymore as you're moving side to side. It's just nice to create some space between rib cage and hips as it shortens with time with too much sitting, not enough moving. And we're done with the side bending part. Let's do this one more time. Open the arms, and now let's let the band pull them back a little bit, assisting with the stretch. All right, time to give our arms a break. Shake it, roll it, and let's go back to our squat, heel raise, toe raise. We'll do all 3. So we're going back to the chair. Again, feet, you can turn them forward and have them under your shoulders this time. Chair should be close enough for you to grab it. First the squat, hips go back, hip hinge, bending the knees, straightening out. Next one, heels go up, we're standing upright. In this one, I want you to hold the chair, toes go up. Now let's do all 3. Inhale, pull the elbows back. If you want to squat deeper, see how it feels. Heel raise, chair, toe raise. Again, if you want to squat deeper, keep your upper body at the same angle where it was when you just started your squat, and bend your knees more. So once you tilted your hips, that angle stays. If you want to go here, here, there, it comes from the knees. You can bend them as much as it feels okay. The form should be good, and the movement should feel good. Inhale on the way down, exhale here. Inhale, balance, stay vertical. And here, we have to shift the weight a little bit. Toes up. Let's do one more time, the whole thing. Squat, heels up, and then see if we can shift the weight and not lose the balance. Very good. That's enough of that. Take it to another back stretch, slide, cat roll. Another one. Inhale, exhale, shoulders back. Very good. Giving our legs a break, let's go back to the band. This time we will work one arm at a time. One arm is the anchor. It's going to work, but it's not going to move. And the other arm moves down and out like this. It's, again, another chest opening move. Also starts with the shoulder blade. First your shoulder goes down, and then you keep pulling it back while your anchor arm has to work in order not to move. It resists the pull that the other arm creates. And if there is a little bit of rotation here, that's fine, but let's concentrate on the movement of the shoulder blade here. While I was talking, I believe we did enough reps. We can put the arms down for a second. And then do the other side. So now this arm is going to be the anchor. This arm goes down and out diagonally. Find the angle that works. This upper arm, if your shoulder doesn't like your arm to be up here, it's perfectly fine to keep it a little more horizontal. And again, if your body ends up doing a little bit of rotation here, that's okay. We are, however, not concentrating on the rotational move there. We are opening the shoulder, we're pulling the shoulder down and back. Let's do one more time. And we're done. Very good. Let's put arms down, shake it, roll it. Let's stretch the arms. Take each arm across like this. You can let the shoulder move forward, but not up to the ear. And you can look over that shoulder. Very good. Now the side, arm across, looking over the shoulder. And let's go back to the chair. It's a balance exercise. It works the entire back of the body, the airplane. We'll stand on one leg, use the chair when you need it, bend this knee a little bit. Now I want you to lift the chest. You can push into the chair, and this will pop the rib cage up. Tilt your hips forward, similar to what we did doing a squat, only now we're not bending the knee. The movement is just the hip hinge. Hips are tilting forward, back stays stiff. We do not relax the back down as we lean forward. We keep it tight against gravity. And if you want to squeeze the glutes, the butt muscles on this side, and push the heel to the back, this will add work. Keep your midsection tight. And if you don't need the chair too much, you can take the opposite arm forward with the thumb up like this, so your shoulder can open. And if you'd rather not do that, keep both hands on the chair. On the other hand, if you feel very comfortable, you can take both arms forward and then straighten up and take the shoulders back. Let's do one more time. Hold it. You can use two hands on chair, one arm forward, two arms forward. And then we straighten up, shake the leg we're standing on. Rotate a couple of times. And let's go to the other side. So we're now standing on this leg, bend the knee a little bit, lift the chest, tilt the hips forward. You can start with just the hip hinge. See how far you want to go. You will feel your hamstrings tightening. So there's no need to take it to horizontal, whatever is the angle, it still works. Then you can press this heel to the back. Have your toes turned toward the floor, by the way, when you're doing this. We're really not interested in any kind of rotation here. Let's just move forward and back. And if you feel comfortable with it, opposite arm moves forward. Thumb is up here. And if you feel very comfortable, you can take both arms forward. And if you don't feel comfortable letting go of your chair, then you keep both hands on it. Remember to keep the chest up. Let's do one more time. Hold it. Two hands, one arm, two arms. And we can straighten up and shake the leg one we're standing on first. And let's take it to a downward dog on the chair. Your hands like this wide. You can have your thumbs up. Walk the feet away from the chair. Soften the knees. Relax your back. Now it doesn't need to be straight. And we press down until you feel a nice stretch in your back, around your shoulders, and maybe also in your hamstrings if your knees are not too bent. Very good. And now we can walk the feet to the chair. Now let's get back to the bends. We did pulling movement so far. Let's do a pushing movement. So bend is going behind the back. And we will do a rotational chest press. So let me step back so you can see what my feet are doing here. Foot, hip, and shoulder are turning together. So this is a rotation that happens on whichever happens to be your weight-bearing hip joint. You will be shifting your weight from one leg to another. We stay in vertical, make sure you have enough tension on the band to feel the work in the arms and shoulders. And as your arm goes forward, your shoulders doesn't need to, so make sure this is not happening. So your shoulder blade stays back as the arm moves forward. And if you want more rotation, you can turn your rib cage after your hips cannot move any further. So that will bring rotation into the spine and you will feel it around your waist. Do it on exhalation and just make sure your back doesn't mind the twist. If you start feeling your back, then again, you can rotate your hips and your shoulders together as a unit and there won't be any twist in your spine. Meanwhile, we did a ton, and you should be feeling your glutes too. When you're turning, whichever hip is turning, you will feel the glutes working there. We're done with our chest press. We can put the band down, shake everything, roll the shoulders. Let's do this stretch while we're resting. Start with your elbows in. You can squeeze them, open the elbows, you can open the palms, and then push the elbows back without your rib cage moving. Keep looking forward. And you can try and slide your arms up and down. You don't have to straighten the elbows. If you can, without your shoulders going up to the ears, very good. And if not, just do small ones. Just make sure your shoulders are not moving as your arms are. So by shoulders, I mean the shoulder blades. They stay put. Down and back. That's good. Let's return blood to the hands as we move them down like this. Couple of rotations here. Very good. And let's do another leg exercise, the balancing one. Let's just do the legs so we can have the hands free to hold onto the chair. We will tip the hips a little bit so upper body is angled, but the spine is straight. There is no curve in the spine. And we will move the other leg up and down. Notice your knee and toes are forward. We don't want them like this. Just whatever movement you have in your hip, this knee should be a little bit bent. And you can have your hand ready to grab the chair. Or if you're sure you don't need the chair, take the arms out. And you should feel muscles pretty soon on the side of your hip. Actually, on both sides, you will feel this one eventually too. Just move the leg to the side and not forward. Let's do one more time. Hold it. And straighten up. Now this hip should be also tired. We worked both sides, even though only one side was moving. Let's rotate a couple of times. And let's go to the other side. So first we need to be standing upright. This knee a little bit bent. We will tilt the hips a little bit and maintain this angle. And this leg goes up and down. And this hip is already tired from the first set, so you will feel this one sooner than you did during the first set. And make sure your leg is turned forward, and it's a smooth movement. You're not swinging, you're not kicking. Hips. And of course, midsection always stays braced. It's a little bit of core exercise too, as we maintain this angle, whatever angle you chose. If you're sure you're not needing your chair, arms go out. And let's squeeze and hold it. And we're done with this. Hips need a little bit of a break. Shake the legs out again gently. And let's take it to another downward dog. I'm going to angle my chair like so you can see what I'm going to do with my hips. Sorry, I'm turning my rear side towards you. But we're going into the downward dog. And then one knee bends and the other, you can see there. One knee bends, the other knee is straight, and we're pushing this hip to the side, and the stretch goes down the hamstrings and it's around the hip. Let's go to the other side. Watch this angle. We do this. Now that knee is straight, and I'm pushing my hip to the side. Very good. Let's straighten up, and we got one more pushing movement. We will combine it with balancing. Have your chair, if you need to grab it at any point, so the band goes behind your back again. We'll start with feet about under the hips. Good posture, we're vertical, shoulders are down. This time your arms are moving either straight up if you can, and if you feel like you start to lean back to get it, the movement, let the arms go forward a little bit and do not lean back. So this is your shoulder press. Let's combine it with balancing. We'll be shifting the weight from one leg to another and start with a little tap, toe touch. And keep your hips as even as you can as you shift the weight from one leg to another. This time you don't want them to tilt. So hip line should be close to horizontal, and so should be your shoulder line. And again, you can use the toe trick. You can press the toes into the floor without causing them to cramp, just to apply pressure, especially the big toes. So your foot should be basically like a triangle, big toe, pinky toe, and the heel. And all of that should be more or less evenly pressed into the floor. And this will tighten your ankle and give you better stability. Very good. One more each side. All right. And we're done with the shoulders. Shake, roll. Let's stretch like this. Watch. Take your wrist, pull it down, pull it across, side bend the neck. And you can look down at your feet. And that should stretch this whole area here. Let's go to the other side. Pull the arm down like so, down on the cross. This will make sure that the shoulder is down as we're side bending away from it and also looking down at our feet. And then we straighten up and roll the shoulders back. One more leg exercise and we'll be done with the conditioning part. Standing behind the chair, feet under the hips. Let's not have them on the same line. Step back just enough to open this hip. Like this wouldn't be enough. Hip is still closed. Try to straighten the hips. If they won't go entirely straight, you can angle them a little forward. This heel is up, this heel is down, and the weight is on both legs. Or you can hold the chair anytime you need it. Bending both knees and going down. This is a split squat or a lunge. We want to move down and up in this. We don't want to move forward and back. Down and up. And again, just see how much bending your knees are okay with. Really small ones. And if you need to help your legs, we have the chair. You can press in it. Once again, even if you're using the chair, do not round your back forward. Keep it straight. If you do not need your chair, you can do one arm up, or you can do even two arms up. You can't really slouch when you're lifting the arms up like this. Only one thing, do not lean back. So your upper body should be maybe slightly angled forward. Again, it should be about in the same line with this back leg. And keep an eye on this front knee so it doesn't travel forward too much. That's enough from one side. Let's switch. So feet a little apart, step back enough to open the hip, straighten up, try to straighten your pelvis, and then you can start with this knee, try to bend it, and the front knee will bend with it. We're sinking, and we're coming up. Squeeze the butt muscles. This will help your legs. Keep an eye on the front knee. We don't want it forward too much, and we want it pointed forward. Don't let it go in. And then if you don't need the chair, one arm, or maybe two arms, and see how deep you want to go into your lunge. Small lunges, watching your knees today maybe a little bit deeper. You certainly don't need to hit the floor, as the floor is hard. Let's do one more time. Here we go. We can shake the legs out, and we can turn the music back on, have a little bit of water as we're making transition. It's time for a bit of cardio. Where is my water? Let's bring our music back. Make sure you have room for movement. We might be walking forward and back if you like to do that, so make sure there is no furniture.
love you, I love you. Now
All
I'm
right.
a highly metaphysical man, but I know when the stars are aligned, you can't.
Start with the
Bump into a
marching,
person in the middle of the road. Look into their eyes and you suddenly know. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. Dancing in the night in the middle of June.
Take a breath.
My mama told me don't lose you, cause the best life I had was you. I said, hey, I'm gone today, but I'll be back all around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you.
Try some steps again.
I love you, I love you,
Feet
I
to
love
nose.
you. And I say, rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama, close to you. My mama told me don't lose you, cause the best luck I had was you. And I know one thing, that I love
Good.
you.
Take it to the
I
mark.
say, hey, I'm
You
gonna
just
day,
stay,
I'll
or
be
you
back
can
all
walk.
around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. I say, hey, I'm gonna day, I'll be back all around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you.
One more.
It's true. I love you, I love you, I
And we
love
can
you.
sit here.
I love you,
Let's go.
I love you, I love you.
Hands to the back. So sit.
I've been a lot of places all around the way. I've
And
seen a lot
notice
of joy and I've seen a lot of pain, but I don't wanna write a love song for the world. I just wanna write a song about a boy and a girl. Junkies on the corner always calling my name, and the kids on the corner playing ghetto games. When I saw you getting down, well I hope it was you. And when I looked into your eyes, I knew it was true. I said, hey, I'm gonna day, but I'll be back all around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. And I know one thing, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Now I'm not a highly metaphysical man, but I know when the stars are aligned, you can bump into a person in the middle of the road. Look into their eyes and you suddenly know. Talking in the dance hall, moving with you. Dancing in the night in the middle of June. My mama told me don't lose you, cause the best life I had was you. I say, hey, I'm gone today, but I'll be back all around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I say, rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. I say, hey mama,
Hold
close
it
to you.
here.
My mama told me don't lose you, cause the best luck I had was you. And I know one thing, that I love you. I say, hey, I'm gonna day, but I'll be back all around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. I say, hey, I'm gonna day, but I'll be back all around the way.
Let's
Seems
try
like
two
everywhere I
hands on
go,
each
the
side,
more I
like
see, the
this.
less I know. Say, hey, I'm gonna day, but I'll be back all around the way.
Yes,
Seems like
arm.
everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. I say, hey, I'm gonna day, but I'll be back all around the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you.
One more
I
each.
love you, I love you, I love you.
Good. Hold it.
I love you, I love
This
you,
side.
I love
This
you.
side. This side.
I love you, I love you, I love you.
We can stay. We can
Rocking in the
hold.
dance floor, moving with you. Hey mama,
Drop the
rocking in the
shoulders.
dance floor, moving with you.
We can reach and we can clap.
You're my love, you're my sweetest thing. Don't shy away, don't shy away.
One more. So we're done with the music for now. Let's grab the bands just one more time. Before we stretch, have still two more things to do. One more back exercise, this time done from the chair, and one abdominal exercise done from the chair as well. So this is a seated row. I want you to move a little forward in your chair so you have room for your elbows to move forward and back. The band goes under your feet. See how much tension you want on it. Have a good posture. Shoulder right over the hip. We don't need to lean back. Roll the shoulders back and start to move. Keep moving your shoulders back. So this one is initiated again through your shoulder blades. They need to be away from the ears, and then you're pinching them together, and then you think of your elbows moving back. And this is your row, seated row. Your upper body may move a little bit forward and back, but let's concentrate on movement around your shoulder. And you can use this position of your wrists where your thumb is up and your elbows are staying close to the side. If you want to play with this, you can turn your palms forward like this and keep your elbows still below the shoulders so that the shoulders don't come up, but a little bit wider. And if you look from the side, have your band and your wrist and your forearm on the straight line. So if you drop your elbows too low, it's going to be really awkward around your wrists. And this is a back exercise, a row. Let's do one more time. Squeeze and hold. And we're all done with the band. Shake it. Let's do a quick stretch for your wrist. High five, straight elbow, and pull the fingers towards your face. And this is palm, wrist, and finger stretch. Let's go to the other side. Straight elbow. All right, and for abdominals, we're still sitting on the edge of the chair. I want you to do this, straight back, and then move the hips back. So you do not round the back here, you're moving your hips back, so the angle between your thighs and your upper body is greater than 90 degrees. And then you can start lifting one knee at a time, making sure your stomach muscles tighten up, and your hips don't move and your back doesn't move. It just stays straight. It doesn't round, it doesn't arch too much. And that is what the abdominals are for, to keep the back in the same place. Now, if you want to make it a little more challenging, you can add a circle. That will turn on the thigh muscles and put more work into abdominals. Again, make sure you don't start feeling your lower back. If this is all easy stuff for you, same idea, straight back, not too arched, not too rounded either, two knees, and you don't need to lift them up much. You don't even have to take it to 90 degrees. Just lifting up the knees puts a lot of work into your abdomen. Make sure your pelvis is not being pulled forward as you're lowering your leg. That's why you turn on the abs, the abdominals, to keep your hips from moving. And if this is too easy, you can do single leg circle and tap, or maybe even a double leg circle. Again, if you feel your legs and stomach, that's good. If you start feeling your lower back, we don't want that. All right, and that was our abdominal exercise. Whew, let's stomp the feet. And we need a couple of stretches now. Let's start with my favorite relaxing one. You just slide forward and open the hips. And now you can relax your back and even let it round a little bit. Make sure your shoulders are open. That should feel nice. Breath or two. And let's start with a hip flexor stretch because we just use them a lot. We will be sliding to the side of the chair, pushing the leg back. Be careful not to squeeze your hamstrings. A little bit of pelvic tilt, like so, like we did in a cat stretch, and we lean back from the hip. So make sure you don't do it with your back. Your back actually should flatten a little bit. And leaning a little bit away. So again, your upper body is on the same line with this thigh. And this should be stretching front of your thigh. Very good. Let's go to the other side. Slide. Move the leg back. Relax your hamstrings so they don't cramp on you. Scoop the tailbone under. Lean to the side just to get the spine and leg on the same line. And lean back to open the hip leg. Turn this way there. And that should be stretching groin area, front of the hip thigh. Very good. We can stomp it. Next one, let's get hamstrings and inner thighs together, sliding back, feet forward, lift the chest, and let's tilt the hips forward. So first motion is a hip hinge. Lean on the chair, keep moving. Your knees may be a little bit bent, but you will still feel your hamstrings and inner thighs. And you can stay here or you can keep moving. If you want to stretch your back and you have that motion available for you, you can relax forward. If it's too much, you don't want to lean forward, this one will be just fine. And this is hamstrings and this is inner thighs. Bend the knees. Let's take it to a side stretch, move forward, then lean on the chair, then open the arm. And let's go to the other side. Forward, side, and then we open up. This one will be just for your back. We'll lean forward, knees are nicely bent, not too bent, but not straight either. And this time we will come forward first from the hips, and then you can relax the back and stop when you have enough stretch. It will be mostly around your lower back. Let's roll it up, sit nice and tall. Let's rotate a couple of times like this. You can open the shoulder. We can go to the other side, rotate, open up. And then come back, roll the shoulders back, and the neck stretch. Head on the shoulders. Roll the head forward and then roll the neck down and very slowly go to the side. Lift the chin up and stop. We're only doing front half of the circle and we're doing it slowly. Lift the chin up a little bit. Very good. And one more thing for the neck, we'll be sitting upright, head over the shoulders, hands on the back of the head, and we'll press the head into the hands. Keep it as we keep pressing and resisting with the hands. So neck is not moving. You can lift your rib cage a little bit. Have a breath and then straighten up. And then you can stop pressing, remove the hands, and put the head back on the shoulders. That's where it wants to be all the time. Let's get up. Shake it, roll it, one more downward dog stretch on the chair. Soften the knees, relax the back. And then we can walk the feet back to the chair, roll the shoulders back. Let's rotate a couple of times and swing the arms around. And then have a big breath. Another one. All right, and we're all done. Thank you for doing it with me. Have a great day.